I am Judge Larry Doss. I am the current judge on the 7th Court of Appeals and am running for election for continued service on the 7th Court of Appeals, Place 4. Here are a few facts about me. I grew up in the West Texas town of Abilene and went to undergrad at Baylor University. My wife and I then went to Texas Tech University School of Law, where we both graduated in 1999. We've got 3 kiddos: our daughter Grace, who goes to the University of Oklahoma, our daughter Abby, who attends the University of Montana at Missoula, and our son Matthew, who goes to Bozeman High School. Those kids have been involved in everything that we've done, all the discussions we've had around the table about law and about politics. In fact, we've gotten so much into it, we actually signed our daughters up for a competition at Duke University where they could stand up in front of an audience and talk about the law and talk about their role in politics. Julie and I also like to serve in the community. We do that through the form of a number of different social and charitable organizations, including the American Cancer Society Cattle Barons Ball, the YWCA, and other service through our church. The 7th District Court of Appeals actually sits here in Amarillo, Texas, in the Potter County Courthouse. What we do is we hear cases that come from 46 county region in the Texas Panhandle and in the South Plains of Texas. So if you can imagine an area from as north, the north part of the Panhandle, all the way down south of Lubbock, including Tahoka and Post, all of those cases that come out of the trial court. If a party wants to take an appeal out of a state court decision, all of those go to our court. We hear about 600 cases a year. Each judge on the court writes about 150 opinions apiece. By comparison, the judges on the Texas Supreme Court, the 9 judges there, write about 150 opinions combined among the 9 of them. I was appointed by Governor Abbott to serve as a justice on the 7th Court of Appeals in November of 2019. Before that time, I had worked on more than 100 appeals in state and federal court throughout Texas, the Texas Supreme Court, the 5th Circuit Court of Appeals on the federal side, and the U.S. Supreme Court. I'm board certified and in civil appeals, and that's mainly what I do and mainly what my clients hired me for. I took the oath in December of 2019. I've been on the court for more than 100 days working on issues with the other 3 justices on the court, writing opinions and making sure that we handle justice in an orderly manner. I was actually initially contacted by the governor's office in October 2019 because there was an appointment that the governor needed to make. The individuals who had applied for a position, including my opponent who had applied for a position on the Court of Appeals, had asked to be named to the court. The governor's office instead reached out to me in October and asked if I would be interested in applying. I was honored to do that, send in my materials, go through a lengty background check and a discussion and an interview with the governor's staff in making the appointment, and fortunately was able to obtain the appointment from the governor in November. What we do on the 7th Court of Appeals is very important to voters in this area, and I think that's why it's important that everybody understand this position and get out and vote, particularly during this election. We hear cases from the 46 county region, and most of the time that's the last opportunity that the citizens have to have their case heard. That's primarily because the Supreme Court, the Court of Criminal Appeals, they get to decide the jurisdiction that they have. They get to decide the cases they want to hear. What that means for voters is you've got to get out and make sure that your voice is heard, that you've got a justice on the court who consistently calls balls and strikes based upon a set strike zone and not based upon political affiliations or a good old boy network. It's important that you understand the issues. It's important to understand where your candidates stand on the issues, because that will have a great effect on at least 25% of the work we have in the 7th Court of Appeals. I appreciate an opportunity to get to talk to you today. I've spoken to citizens all throughout the 46 county region about why I believe I'm the best candidate for this job and continuing to serve on the 7th Court of Appeals. I believe our voters will agree. If you want to find out more information about who I am and what I stand for, you can first of all go to my website, which is dossfortexas.com. And if you want to find out more on our Facebook page, it's Justice Larry Doss. My name is Justice Larry Doss, and I currently serve on the Court of Appeals, and I would appreciate your vote.